Welcome, welcome, welcome. I love these conversations, and where we left off some time back, or our last episode with Akibs, if you remember, we had this bearded man who gave us his story, and it was quite life changing about how he has moved on from nursing his father and being able to go through the journey of forgiveness, and then giving him the best send-off that he can think about, and then coming back to hustle with life, because it has been a zigzag and a fluctuating kind of life, being that he's a family man and he has children of his own and he has work to get back to. You can see that it was a lot in the mix, and it's so easy for us to get lost. But one thing that I really highly commend of him is that he didn't get lost in the mix, and that is why I really want us to pick up the lessons of how his emotions fluctuated and how he was able to actually cut them down, or bring him still himself in that storm, and be able to come through the end of the tunnel or the other side. I don't know, he will tell us, is he out of the woods yet, or he's still in the woods, still figuring out where his life is. So Akibs,
yes,
in a nutshell, that is where we are. You've given Mzee a send-off.
Yes.
You've come back to town. Though, I want us to start before you even say hi. When remember when you were at the bedside, you were out of money.
Yes.
Because you had been out of your job for a very long time. You had actually closed shop.
Yes.
How did you come about the send-off?
Now, I'll first...
Because so many of us, when we hit that rock bottom, it's very hard to think.
You're right. You're right. I'll start off by telling you this. Now, I'll start with Kampala. We're in Kampala, in hospital, and I have a baby that I'm trying to nurture. My business, of course. Yeah. And in the mix there, I close shop and then attend to him. Yeah. And then there comes a time where I have to completely close shop then to go and attend to him.
Full time.
Yes, full time. Now, I'm there with him in hospital, and then there comes a moment when I run out of cash. Yeah. I have a stay-home mom in the village, and she's in the village.
Yeah,
she stays in Lira.
Old.
Yeah, she's old. She stays in Lira.
You have a family back in Kampala.
I have a family back in Kampala.
To feed.
To feed. And now, surprisingly, I am a person of people. I love people. I love people in my space, at home usually.
So you have other people?
I have other people, yes. I have other people in my house.
At your age?
At my age.
Okay.
Now, surprisingly, let me go back just a little bit. During COVID time, I had 9 mouths to feed during the entire lockdown period.
You're not so old. You're a young man.
No, I'm not. I'm not in my 40s, but I'm almost there.
Where does that come from? Do you come from a background where home you used to have many people?
Yes.
Mommy used to love many people? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see how that can rub off.
Now, my mom loves people. She loves people so much in that she would bring in a maid, they come, house help, they come, live around, become part of the family, and then gaingaja, amufunisa olubuto maybe or something, sigula nga agenda, bwakomao she comes back like a daughter coming back.
With a child.
Yes, at home. Now we welcome them. That's the kind of environment that I grew up in.
Yeah.
Remember, dad taliwo, aliweru, jakolera. So ewaka we are that welcoming. It feels warm.
To have people.
Yes. So I
but
carry
again, the responsibility.
The responsibilities.
The feeding.
Exactly. So now I'm at mines and I have these mouths to feed. But I thank God for one thing. You see, God never fails his people. Because even during the lockdown, when people were struggling and hustling here and there, I had 2 jobs. And both ends, I was a social worker during then. So I get to have time to feed these people. Now, coming back to Dad, I have people at home as well. And
you've run out of cash.
I've run out of cash. Now, let me tell you, I get to a point where I have customers tell me, I need this dress, I need this. I would leave Dad in hospital, run to downtown, get 5,000, get 10, 20,000 off of my cell, go back to hospital, and then use that to feed me and the patient.
That's faith.
So I get to a moment where I fall off.
Nothing coming.
Nothing coming. No customers. The orders stopped coming. And
because you're not readily
yes,
available.
Yes. There was nothing. And people would call me, hey, Akibs, to good day, which church again, Maso. And I'm like, I'm in hospital, but I'll come around. And they're like, okay, nja kulinda. And they're like, no, you also want to come order. Nja kulinda.
Of course.
Yes, so people started telling me that. Now there comes a time when the orders stop coming in, and then the money stops coming in. I remember a day. I remember some day we're in hospital, and that day we had lunch, supper, and breakfast at 5 p.m. Now remember, my patient is being transfused, and is being treated here and there, and there are no meals. And then some friend of mine calls me, and it's like, Akibs,
wow.
And that is how I get lunch.
Wow.
To feed me
a friend,
and the patient. Yes, a
without
friend.
even you calling them.
Without me calling them. Fast forward, and I stopped taking care of myself. Yeah, I stopped taking care of myself. I stopped trimming my hair. I stopped taking care, of my beard and all that. So fast forward, Dad gets discharged. He gets discharged on a Wednesday. And our bill was approaching 3 million. Sina sente. Now, I have an elder brother I have an elder brother, and I call him, and I'm like, yo, we are at the hospital, but Dad has been discharged. We have been discharged, and this is the balance. So, mukubire simu ngamba, okay, muntandi wanga tunagenda mu ddwaliro. He tells me, muzeyi bwaba muli mu ddwaliro, let them run tests and do everything, then you tell me, you let me know. He's well off, he's doing well.
Yeah.
So mukubire
and now
simu.
you're telling him.
And now I'm telling him. And it's like, Sirigo, I'm in Mombasa. Ngenza kuchima bintu byange. I'll be coming back next week. Like, but guy, you told me to call you and tell you. Right now, ndikuchisenge.
Yeah, I need you.
Yes, I need you right now. All I have is 1.2 million shillings, and the balance is this much. Yeah, but there are tests to be run as well after us being discharged from hospital. It's like, Siri wumulindeko. We get discharged on a Wednesday, and Wednesday tetuina chakugamba basawo.
I know.
Babagamba nti omuntu bamukwatidde mu ddwaliro sinti baba bagambye mbu atoyina gy'olaga
oba toyina
sente ate nga tosobola kufulumayo
kyokka ate nga bwe beebaka still bagenda kukyala
babala because a bed is charged about 100,000 per night, and then ate ab'omu ddwaliro bakulaga nti bayinza n'okuteekako normal saline just kubeerawo omulwadde
kubanga okyaliwo like Katonda beera
yes. Now it becomes very uncomfortable okwewozaako nti ba-sisters bajja ba-nurses bajja okubuuza like what's going on, is the patient okay?
tulina gwe tulinda
ngamba tulina gwe tulinda naye tugenda kugira tuveewo. We get discharged on a Wednesday. Guy comes through on a Saturday evening.
And you're still in the hospital?
Yes, we're still in hospital.
Wow.
Now he sends some money short by 600,000.
And he says that's all he has?
And he says that's all I have. Sirina sente. Nawe kati yiya. Buyangamba. Nange nayiyiza. Because in Zijukira, I had to sell my dummies. I had to sell my dummies, and I had to sell off and some dresses as well. No go when at giveaway prices just to try and raise some money. Munange ngaweza sente. So I get to call someone from the village. Twaine embuzi ngamugambo manyi kwate embuzi ezo. Genda ozitunde. Kubanga we bought them nti zijja kuyamba biseera bwebiti. So he goes and sells them nga tuweerezayo emitwalo 25.
And yet you're short by
600,000. Kati ate sobola mulekerayo naye kuba yazirabirira. I call him nga mugamba omanyi nawe 5 gijo gikubeeremu. Sobola mulekerera.
I know.
Now, when my dad was in the village, he sold off all the cows. One of our uncles convinced him n'amutunza ente zonna ezaaliwo.
Because they knew
yes ne bazitunda katusigaza mbuzi zokka sina nyingi zaali mbuzi 2 zaali mbuzi 3 yes enkulu 2 then nakatokazo nazitunda at that much I think I would go for way more than that but you're in a rush. Yes, I'm in a rush nga tuweereza ezo muddizayo emitwalo 5 gimubeeremu nga ntandika okuyiiya neera okufuna ssente naye nina gwe mmanja my best friend naye ssente mbi ssente zaawula abantu.
I know.
So I called my best friend nga mugamba omanyi tuli mu ddwaliro kino na kino kiri bwe kine bwe kiti nyamba kali akasente ompeeko bwe ziti essaawa zino we've been discharged naye tetulina ngeri gyetutuuka waka twava mu ddwaliro on Sunday at 5 p.m.
Wow.
nga baali baatu discharging on Wednesday ssaawa 5.
You're stressed?
I'm very stressed. Ebintu ebitambula. I don't know what happened. I go and check on my BP. Ngeri waggulu bitya. It's 187
wow.
over 123.
Very abnormal.
Very abnormal. Setegeera sefaako. The people that came to the hospital to come and check on us were like, church agenda maso. Lwaki toyogera? And being that we're in Africa, our upbringing is quite different. Omwana omulenzi tebamulaga nti olina kubeera vulnerable.
I know. Tosobola kaaba,
tosobola kuddukirira abantu, tosobola gamba
they
abantu
expect you to figure
ebinsobedde.
it out.
Yes.
Wow.
So batujje mu ddwaliro nina okuyiiya ate nfune transport yatuzaayo ewaka.
But in those moments, while you're going through that, like what exactly is going on in your mind? Because we have a generation right now that lacks resilience. A very small thing like this can cause them to give up on everything. But you see, you go through the toughest of times where you have no one to count on. It seems like Oliweka in this, and you're able to go through, even when chikukoseza or Siri say you cannot be able to tell anyone, express yourself, but there should be like at some points where thoughts were crossing your mind. Like what were those thoughts?
I got to a moment where I questioned the existence of God. Nengamba naye Mukama, ndala waliyo Katonda. This journey I've been on since 1997. Like I said, I got saved in 1997. And it was excitement. Nali sibitegeera bulungi nnyo. Sobola gamba nti nali mbitegeera, but as along the way, nengamba naye ono omuntu gwe nzikiririzaamu abantu gwe basinza ye kituufu ddala gyali. Is it true there is a God? Is it true there is a higher power somewhere out there? And if it's there, if truly God is there, why would I go through this? Now I remember back in 2012 and between 2010 to 2014, I was in very active ministry, very active, to the point that I nearly got ordained into being a pastor. And I've been this, to me, I've been this very diligent Christian.
You had a closer walk with God.
Yes, closer walk with God. And trust me, nakati nchogera. Sawa zino nchogera nti God has never let me down.
Yeah.
He has never let me down.
But when you're in that moment, the heat of the moment.
But when I was in that moment, byantawukako ne binsukako nga sikyategeera nga sikyategeererako ddala ne nduka ekiseera nga sikyakwata masimu kubanga tetulina mbuzi, tebalina embuzi gye bagenda kunnyumiza. Oli agenda kumbuuza nituuka n'ekiseera nga ngamba ogenda kuŋŋamba how are you, era tudde mu byebimu nkuddemu ki, ye bwe mba nga siri fine ogenda kunkolera ki. So I get to that point and I'm like, kiki ddala ekigenda mu maaso?
Everything is meaningless.
Everything was really meaningless. I got my phone. You get your phone, you look through your contacts, and there is no one, nothing. Nga teri agenda kuviirayo. Nengamba naye kiki ekigenda mu maaso. So at the back of my mind, I was like, Akibs, kino kirimu weka. There is no one.
So you came to the acceptance.
Yes.
And the acknowledgement.
Nti
I have to own this.
Nkirimu nzekka.
Wow.
Nkirimu nzekka, because I can't look at my mom, I can't look at my younger siblings, and of course my elder brother.
What did you feel towards him?
I've felt all sorts of things.
I know.
So
which is normal.
Yes.
Which is normal because we have expectations. When I have expectations of you, when you are in a very bad state, omutima gwange I can edit my expectations. But when manyi nti oli kale ko, you get it? Mba manyi nti wajja kuvaayo omukono. Kati ate kyekisinga obubi gwe okusuubirira mu muntu ate yenga teyetadde mu kifo kya buvunaanyizibwa ekyo.
Yes.
I know how it feels.
So I get to a certain point and then one day ndi awo tuvudde mu ddwaliro ndi waka. One day ndi awo. And then I have this thought of when Jesus went to pray for the 40 days and he picked his best men to go with agenda asabe to pray. Kati atuuka okusaba ne batandika okwebaka. And then he comes and wakes them up. And it's like, guys,
temusobodde wadde
yadde mujje agenda okuddamu. It's nenfuna ekyokuyiga about that nengamba nenfuna okubikkulira like these guys really wanted to help. Just the mere thought of them coming out ogenda naye baali baagala naye engatto za Yesu. Oftentimes tugamba abantu nti weeteeke mu ngatto zange.
Wow.
We tell people weeteeke mu ngatto zange, but they cannot. They cannot. It's yours.
The heat is not on them.
Yes, it's not on them. By no wagazi bagalo kubeererawo and all that. They want to support and be there for
bayinza n'okuwaga.
Yes.
Bagamba tugenda tumalako.
Yes, tugenda.
Nenga bayina bakoma.
Nga bayina
bagenda sumagira.
Yes. Bayina bakoma.
Akabugumu kajja bayinga.
Kajja bayitirirako.
Naye nga gwe ne mu bugumu ojja kubanga owulira empewo.
Yes. Kyekirimu ne rocket. Rocket bw'ogironkinga ina weetuuka ina altitude zeetuukako bino ebipapa gy'ebirala ne bisumulukako ne bivaako yo ne yeeyongerayo yekka. So I'm like, okay,
this is it.
Now this is me.
This is me. This is my cross to carry.
It is my cross to carry.
Wow.
So awo nentandika okuyenga omwana omusajja era bw'abeera nentandika okuyiriba okunoonya ssente. Nengendako mu banka. Some of my things mbiweeyo mbiteekeyo bampe ku ssente nga processing mpango bitya obugumiikiriza nga kati nga bumpeddeko nga njagala ekyamangu.
But the resilience to even think about the options. Kubanga ekintu ekisinga okutukuba oba ekisinga okukuba abavubuka b'ennaku zino atunuulira awantu wamu ate twesiganya abantu amaaso tugatadde ku bantu. Oli ayinza n'okubanga oyinza okuba mu kizibu ng'oli ategeka pate. Kati bw'omutunulira omutima ne guterebuka. And that is where most people feel like, I think the world is better off without me. Do you see where suicidal thoughts start coming in? And you've not exhaustively looked at all the options of selling the goats, going to the bank, calling your best friend, selling off some of your things. As in, that means you had a working brain, even in the storm.
But how did it come about? It took isolating myself, both from the patients and from everything else around me. Kubanga bino ebirowoozo sometimes bw'obeera mu bantu tukyamuka. You get it? Tukyamuka munnagamba nkubira bwe wabeerawo kino ojja kunkubirako. Bw'oba onneetaaza ojja kunkubira. Bakuwaga nnyo.
Akuleetera ekikebe kya juice kimu.
Kimu bwe kiti.
N'ayogererako ebigambo omutwalo.
Yes. Andi wange actually onzijukiriza mutwalo. So waliwo andi wange yandeetanga loofu y'omugaati ne sukaali. Nga kyamaanyi n'aleeta.
Ate nga naye kyamaaso.
N'aleeta bogoya.
I know. Kati ayinza n'okugamba
twamujjanjaba.
Naye nga tamanyi zigenda mu ddwaliro.
So that discharging omuzeeyi akomawo ewaka agamba mbu omanyi ewo olina abantu bangi abaana bawummudde kanzireyo bwe baddayo ku ssomero nja kukomawo. Atuukayo yakamala weeks 2 nga bagamba muzeeyi he has experienced a split west. I don't know simanyi engeri gye bakyogeramu. Yes, like mu kiwato like tasobola kutambula tasobola kuyimirira. Ngamba yi muzeeyi gwe baka discharging ate kati kye kigenda mu maaso.
We've come out of the worst and now it seems even worse.
Like, yes. Ngamba yi kye kigenda mu maaso nga bankubira
with the pelvic bones.
Yes, bankubira nga baŋŋamba muzeeyi ate kati time kati nzizeeyo nkomyewo ntandise okuŋŋambe kale sinsazizeeyo nange kankozese chance eno yes nzireyo mu ddwaliro nzireyo ku dduuka ntandika okuyiiya mpola mpola naye tebinnatereera bulungi era kuyiriba kuba sigoba customer ndi musajja muyirivi nnyo nze I remember hawking mandazi at some stage in my life. Yes, I remember learning how to make donuts. These donuts kati eziriko bino ebindazi ebiriko kati ebyebitaano. I remember learning it myself nembyeyigiriza nembifumba nentambuza ku maduuka ng'otoka ne bagamba tulekere bwe tunaatunda tujja kuwa ssente.
Wow.
So kati nzizeeyo ku dduuka ntandise okuyiriba customer ajja ngamba njagala address eno nagi describing nomugamba olina ekifaananyi nagamba eka nkikulage mugamba kale nindako kangende mu store noyita mu bizimbe nokima address n'okomawo n'omuwa ng'omwongeddemu z'omwongeddemu n'akuwa sente so mpolampola bwe ntyo weeks bbiri barely 2 weeks in ne baŋŋamba ate kino
toyina kewakuŋŋaanyizaawo tewali
in the 3rd week muzeeyi naakwagala agamba jangu magambo gye esooka gye mulabe ekyokukola ntuukayo yali musanyufu bitya tandika omulabira of course nze bwe ntuuka ewaka bamanyi ayingiddewo ntandikirawo ntuuka emisawo baziyingiza mu nnyumba ntandikirawo alidde ki anywedde ki alina kino bwekiri obusente bwange I remember we bankubira nti muzeeyi ali mu ddwaliro. I had 2 smartphones. Nakirira mu town, it was a Samsung. Nakirira downtown. Nenjitunda. I have never sold a phone in my life. Nentunda esimu yange nfune sente eza transport antwala mu kyalo.
Imagine.
I had 2 smartphones. Nentundako essimu emu. Neninya basi nengenda mu kyalo. Nentuukayo obusente bwe nali nsigazaako nengulako byali asinga okwetaaga beetroot because he was becoming anemic every now and then and nga netubitegeera so nengulako ebintu nentuuka the first thing I did ngensawo baziyingiza I blended him juice biki netutuula nenyingira mu kisenge nangapa nsanyusa okulaba webala okujja ng'omuzeeyi bw'omubuuza wa wakuluma ngagamba siyina wannoma just mpulira ng'amaanyi ganzigwamu every now and then kati muzeeyi wange yali musajja w'amaanyi nnyo he used to work out and to him yali tasuubira nti at any point in his life ajja kutuukaawo will he ever be that weak nga muzeeyi asobola okudduka kilometers ne bwe ziba 3 just jogging.
By the time you're in the army?
Yes. Ngasobola okujoginga naye bwe
passed the physical tests.
Nga mugamba muzeeyi I understand. Nenga gabo twagambye nti we tell people this thing we understand
but we can't be
we cannot. I can't be in your shoes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You
will not understand.
I won't understand your pain. I won't understand the root. I won't understand everything that is really going on. I understand. Owulira nti amaanyi gakuweddemu. Naye n'ekirala emyaka gigenze. Tosobola kubeera n'amaanyi ge walina ng'olina emyaka 2. You can't have that strength right now. Okaddiye then n'obulwadde kwebuli. But kyemanyi you will gain but you won't go back to your former glory. I was like, no, but you see, nagamba my last born ng'akyalwana. Now we have a last born who is in school. I've been taking care of him for some time now. And he stays at mines and all that. So nga yeguyira alekirira. Mwana wange. Ngamba no, you cannot. So tubeera waawo.
Nenga weesugulidde ku ki? Esente zoze nazo ziguze mu
ziweddewo.
Like nga you can still have a straight face and a sane conversation.
Sayina suubi.
Because then you don't have a fallback position. No. You know you have more needs that are coming in front of you. Yes. And you're okay.
Nakkiriza. Nze natuuka ekitera nenzikiriza. nenzikiriza. Because when the Amalekites went and fought and destroyed the city, when David and his men reached there with his men, and their women and their wives and children were taken away, and these men his own men turned against him, and they wanted to stone him amongst themselves. They said, let's stone this man. Kumbe ate nga ne gwe baagala okustoninga naye bakazi be babiri baali babatutte. So David n'akaaba nnyo Bible egamba mu 1 Samuel 30, yes, verse 6, ne bakaaba nnyo n'atuuka ekiseera nga talina maanyi gayongerayo kaaba. The Bible says, and David encouraged himself.
Wow.
And David encouraged himself.
Nga tewali mulala wamusamba.
Nga tewali. So natuuka ekiseera nenzikiriza nti yenze tewali mulala. Mama ange tagenda kitegeera kuba bonna bagenda kutunuulira nze. Buli omu agenda kutunuulira nze. So nga ngamba taata. Kati now they would come visitors. Mu kyalo wabeerayo ba visitors. Abantu bwe bajja okukyalira bakuleeterayo ebyokulya, bakuleeterayo obutunda.
Yes.
Wali wazze ayagala kulaba mulwadde gwe ayagala okutuukirako n'amuwaayo ekyebiri n'amuwaayo omutwalo. Kati nga muzeeyi mugamba leero ayagala kulya ki? My dad loved nice food. He loved nice food. I think neji yakolera and all that. Obulamu bwali bulungi. So ngamba leero njagala kulya fish.
Checho.
Ngamba naye siina, ngamba kwatayo zino.
Oh.
Ngamba. So he had those regular guests.
Yeah.
Now during this time when he had come back, he was an active member in the church. Bali balowooza n'okumufuula, is it a deacon? Nga kulembera ba deacon naye obulwadde bwe baamu kati nga ne church bajja ne bamukyalira nga bamuleeterayo ke bamuleeteze. So now we get to a point, yes, we get to a point where omulwadde yali mu kulabirira abalamu. Ng'omulwadde yalabirira abalamu. Nga sente ezitulabira ezigula emmere nga ziva mu nsawo ye. Abamukyaliddeko bebagabirira. Kati ng'akwata ku sente ng'akuwa. Najjanjaba muzeeyi wange olugendo lwe nali manyi nti ngenda kumalayo wiiki emu. Twatuuka mu wiiki ey'okubiri namugamba muzeeyi mbadde nsaba nzireyo e Kampala katono mbeeko byentereeza
naye ng'akuleka
nga tasobola. Nali manyi ngenda kumalayo wiiki emu nempeza omwezi eyagenda mu May.
But in that period, what I don't understand,
yes,
where is your family in all this? Mukyala wa hanga buli wakubira.
Mutabani wange yatuuka ekiseera n'angamba mbu ye tayagala agenda ku ssomero. Ayagala nze nkomewo.
Okay.
Nga mugamba next week, ngagamba dad, next week is here and you're not here. My last born is 4. Ngagamba next week is here, you're not here. If not, may I come and stay with you in the village there? Ngagamba no, how about school? Ngagamba me, I don't want to go to school now because
I want you here.
Now I have raised my children to know that a father needs to be available in a child's life, is ever present in a child's life. Now, I have grown up in a family where a father is absent, not because Ntayagala, but because he sacrifices some years of his, some years of our lives, yes, to make sure Ntituina we tulikombulamo. At some point in my life, Nagendako, I've lived and worked out for some time. But when to negamba naye, do you want to carry? And then something hits me, and I'm like, do you want to carry the same curse from your family, from your dad, onto your children?
Yeah.
After 1 month's time, nasaba ticket nengoma we Uganda. If the people that have made it in Uganda, I can also do it in Uganda. Wow. I have an uncle who lived out for 47 years.
47 years?
Yes.
Without his family?
Without his family.
So now, did he still have a family?
Nafuna ye family endala, omuzungu, abazungu baziba muko.
Obulamu buba bukyakalamu. Tebutera kunyuma.
So namujjako ebintu biki byonna yagenda okukomawo n'ayagala atandikire we yakoma.
Ngani amulekera, ngani amukkiriza.
Moving on. So I'm like, you know what? Kanzire waka. Yes, I don't want this for my children.
Did your wife understand you through that moment going through?
I don't know. I don't know.
Did she show it?
Yes. She did. She did. Because I get to a point in life where nze kenyini sibitegeera. Setegeera.
Nengo bakubira no bacheckinga kono mubuuza muli muti.
Nga twogera buli lunaku mutabani wange we are this me and my children, we are these people who talk every day. Every day. At least kusimu twogera. I take my son to school because the other is in boarding. I take him to school every day and then I pick him up every day myself. Sagala bya shatu sagala bya chinse kenyini arenze nzuka ne mutegeka and all that, so he's used to that. Like our conversation before we came online, we came live, where we were talking about, you know, being in a child's life and all that. Yes. So abana bange mbamanyiziza I'm present in their lives. Because I remember at some stage in my dad's life, we had these conversations. I pray so much that I don't make the same mistakes that you made in life. I have learned the best of experience, and most of them are self-taught. So I don't want to make the same mistakes that my parents made. So I try as much as I can for my family. And during this entire time, I was available for my family. But I was not available for myself. I was not available for myself.
You knew what they would eat.
Yes.
You knew they would be okay. You knew.
Yes, I knew everything.
That is powerful.
Has he gone for swimming? Because he's allergic. When he swims, afuna allergy ya cough. So ngambagamba tagenda. Ngabomanya abanira. So I get to know everything that is happening. I get to know everything,
which is very powerful,
that is happening.
Omanyi, when we go through tragedy, sometimes our minds become compartmentalized. Nti waliwo ebimu bye tuggala ne tuleka omwaganyo for certain things because of the too much pain that we are going through. And so for you to be able to hold this side and still be responsible, and still hold this side and still, wow.
Yes.
That's strong.
So I get to show up every day for my family, for my children and all that. And I get to show up every day for the patient on this other side and make sure that things are smooth and running this side. But this side, I was drowning. I was drowning.
Because you're being torn apart.
Yes,
you're being pulled apart.
I was drowning. Sichabitegera ngasebaka.
At night.
I can't tell nti nali ndowooza n'okulowooza because sente zezalinga kubongo.
How do we go through tomorrow?
Yes, encha anali.
What if yetagamba?
Like how? Yes. What if? Nentukana ekisira nga bangamba kati what if bakusaba kino, this test and all that. What if yes nga toyina
kiki
ogenda kukola ki?
So ebibuuzo bingi tewali
answer.
Wow.
So it was tough. I make sure I even have friends ndi muntu ayagala nnyo okwogera. I speak, and the one way that I speak is through my social media, my chat, my statuses and all that. I made sure every day I'm posting. Every day. Kati ngeri abantu bafuna, I show up for people. Mbagamba, I got you. I got you.
Ngabote bwezotekayo encouragement.
Nedda. Like I speak about finances, I speak about relationships, I speak about life in general, and people read and appreciate. But me,
you're going down.
I was going down.
You're sinking.
I have mastered the craft of showmanship, of appearing, being there, showing up. Nja kujja kukivula ndabe nga wendi naye nga siriiwo. Physically wendi naye nga siriiwo. Same thing for people. Nja kujja mbeerewo twogere, I'll listen to you and everything. But tuseke.
Muzine n'okuzina.
Yes, buli kimu. Naye nga bwe nzirayo. It's different. It's a different world. It's a different world. So I stopped showing up for myself. In my head, I had these traumas. This man has not been there in my life for all these years.
And
now when he shows up and things are trying to get better, is when he gets sick. That is when he gets sick. Nebitabuka ebirowoozo. I had mixed reactions, mixed feelings. Munda. I can't separate it at any point. I can't tell it at any point in my life I smiled. Genuinely. I don't think that ever happened. Ngatubeerawo ne tukuba olwali mzee wange kisiye muntu yaseka nga nti omulaba nti aseka bino naseka n'abwatuka nga olaba etama nga lisituka mwenya olaba oba amaaso nga gakoze eki nomanya nti kano kanywedde kano kanywedde. So and things got tougher and tougher and tougher. His brothers, none of them showed up. I can boldly say this in front of the camera. None of my uncles ever showed up from the time my dad fell sick.
His siblings? His
own siblings.
Wow.
None of them showed up.
That means all he had was abaana be beyezaalidde, omwana we gwe yezaalidde.
Yes.
Wow.
None of them came to check up on him. Era ne ku lunaku we yafa nakubirako anti wange yekka kuba ye yajjanga n'atukeberako. Oli anti wange eyampisaamu eggaali eyampisaamu eggaali ye yali ngajja n'omulaba n'aleetayo obushera n'aleetayo oba sesame omulwadde alyeko and all that kubanga ye yali right hand taata wange yali right hand man we bwe yali ng'akyali ng'amubeererawo kuba ye yamukuza ye mukulu we ye yamukuza paka naye kamubeeka yes kanzijenga kati ye yajjanga.
And how many did he have siblings?
bali musanvu.
Really?
Yes.
And everyone minded their business?
Yes.
Wow.
Tulina wano ali wano e Kampala mukulu nnyo
okay.
Munene nnyo mwene eriko. Munene nnyo.
Naye nga tali minded wadde kumanya nti muganda wange aliwa ki ekigenda mu maaso.
Yankubira essimu n'aŋŋamba nti sooka obuze ku uncle wooli naye alina ekizibu kye kimu.
Mugende eri.
Yagikuba.
Wow.
You get, during that time yagikuba. So none of them show up. I have to show up for my dad this side, I have to show up for my family this side. And it was tough. But I thank God nti omuntu wange ategeera.
It takes a lot of
understanding nnyo.
Yali akola?
Yes, akola.
So at least you had a two-income kind of house.
Yes.
Wow.
Yenga supporting eno yangamba
okugulu okumbwe kuvaawo wakiri okumu kujja
kuwanirako. Yangamba nti katofaayo. Concentrate on that side.
Wow.
Concentrate on that side.
Wow. That's powerful coming from a woman.
Yes.
Kikuumuza mu mutima.
Yes.
Kuba ate bw'obeera ng'omutima guli mu bbanga about both sides, then you're actually sinking faster.
Yes. Kati nze kye nalina okukola, I had to make sure that emotionally
omubeererawo,
nalingawo,
omucheckingako,
even for the little ones.
But again, you see, in such circumstances, because that is very important, omuntu abeera mu bulamu obwo to be your support. But the other thing is, if you were not enough support for her, yali tajja kubiirirawo. Kubanga omukyala yina bw'amanya nti omwami wange muyiribi, tewali kigaana. Tuyita awantu wonna. Amanya naye omuntu, I think it's last week but one, we were talking together with my husband, nga twogera ku women running away from broke and lazy. Not just a broke man, because anyone can be broke.
Yes, everyone, yes.
At any moment, you can run out of a job, business can be bad, but if you are broke and lazy, and you've seen so many men who are like that in this generation.
Yes, very many.
They're counting on women.
Very many.
So if you're such kind of a person, there's a woman who asked me, Kakati, why am I married? Like, I have to cater for myself, cater for him, I have to cater for the family, I have to do everything. That means, tewali kuyiya. But when a woman says that, buli wabeera n'obudde, mirimu, kuyunga, kugatta wano, agamba nti, kanyimirirewo. That was powerful.
But I think it also comes from side DNA yaffe, because olina okubanga weevaamu. Because it takes two to tango, yeah?
Yes.
The scriptures tell us the two can never work together unless they agree.
Yes.
Kati agreement eyo teri just ku agreement ey'omumwa. Commitment eyina okubeerawo, ebikolwa birina okubeerawo, birina okulaga nti wooli okuviira ddala ku ntandikwa. You lay a foundation.
Yes.
Omuntu n'amanya nti ka foundation weekali azenga akikola. There is a track record of this person doing this and this and this and this.
That is powerful.
Nti azenga akikola. That means, yes, that means kati just kyalemereddwa talina busobozi naye nga zze akikola. That means essaawa zino talina naye bw'abanga afunye ebintu bijja kuddayo. I always tell my friends in Royal Army, mbagamba, you see, oli ku ssomero, you can't wake up in the morning, muzeeyi wa amaze emyaka akusasulira tuition oba fees osome, and then you wake up in the morning and you say you want to become an artist. Tolina track record. Omaze emyaka 26 ewammwe bw'ozuuka ku makya toyala buliri.
I know.
Bw'ozuuka togulangako mugaati ewammwe ewaka. And you want to wake up in the morning and this is the decision you want to make. Nti taata utta akukkiriza obeere DJ mu nnyumba yaani. Tolina track record yonna eraga any sense of responsibility tewali kiraga.
Tasobola na kwesiga abagamba bakyanazaala kiki.
Yes. Kati that is why agenda kugamba mbwa wetogenda muwasa.
Genda okole passion ye side hustle until the passion can actually pay you enough.
Yes. Enkyazuuke ku makya ogambe nti muzeeyi nkimanyi tusasula tuition mbeere engineer naye nayimbyeyo oluyimba luli ku YouTube genda olukebereko luliko views 1 million
ate
n'akasente kaakano nga kuwadde kakubeeremu.
I know.
Then kubanga olabe track record. Yes. Alabe track record. Kyekimune wane ewaka. Tulaga track record yonna.
I know. And then you want to be trusted.
Yes, you want to be trusted out of the blue. How?
You want omuntu akugumire.
Who?
Ninga talina kuwagumira.
Where?
Tekisoboka.
How? Tekisoboka. So kasita yeevaamu n'angamba nti
humula
kino kindekere kati gwe alikwasaganya side zeeri.
Wow.
Naye ntuuka wakati ne binkuba. Nengamba naye kiki ekigenda mu maaso. So one day I wake up, I go to the patient's bedside and I'm like, you know what, Dad? I want to run to Kampala. My traveling to Lira, nasasula rent nga leero enkeera nga nina okugirinnya egenda e Lira. So I get to Lira mid-June nga bangamba nga ngamba muzeeyi omanyi njagala kuddukako e Kampala. Ngende mbeeko byentereeza nkomewo. Kuba mutabani wange yali atabuse nga takyayagala kutegeererako ddala. Tayagala genda ku ssomero, tayagala kulya. Namugamba kanzije. Mba akafuluma ekisenge bwe nti mama wange ng'ayingirayo ng'asanga omusajja akaaba amaziga. Nkamubuuza mbw ate kiki? Mbuluza mutabani we tayagala kundekawo, nze nali mmanya agenda kubeererawo paka lubeerera.
Paka lubeerera?
Yes.
Wow.
I thought he was going to stay around to the last moment. Kate mama bwe yakingamba ne kinyiiza nnyo.
Olowooza otya nti ogenda kufa?
Which last moment kyayogera kubanze last moment gye mmanyi ng'awonye n'asituka obulamu buzzeewo. Kate ne nnyiiga nnyo ng'akubira sisita we essimu oli ng'ajja. Ngamba naye kiki nawulidde ng'ogamba oyagala genda. Beerawo ko weeks ezo 2. Nga boogera nange nga bantuuza wansi ayogera maama eno
buli omu
anti eno
bikusobedde
omulwadde yantunuulira butunuulizibwa ati
nkatulabe kyasalawo.
Ngamba kale enkeera nakeera nga nkola era nga bwe mbadde nga nkola ebya bulijjo. Kati bitabukamu awo ku Friday, Thursday nga tugenda mu ddwaliro eyo nga bitabuka nga alugenda.
Last moment ngejja. Naye alinga yali amanyi.
Yes, yali akimanyi. Kuba on a Sunday yampita ne twogera nga maze kwekalakaasa nnyo nga bwe siteredde.
The forgiveness has happened.
The forgiveness happened on Sunday in our last conversation. Because when I come from home on Sunday after taking rest from all these days that I had not been sleeping, when I get to tell him I need to be sane in order for me to take care of you. Kubanga awo kati nga bintabuseeko sikyategeera nga nyinza okubeera nga sirowooza nga nyinza okubeera awo nebirowooza ne biswitch nga tattata nga simazeeyo kirowoozo and all that because ndowooza ku ssente, ndowooza ku kulya, ndowooza ku baganda abatamukyalidde.
Ate oluzi chicken crosses your mind noga naye kati bwagenda tutandikirawo.
Yes.
Kuba obuvunanyizibwa buli kuggwe.
Yes, buli kunze. Ndowooza ku owange oweena atayagala okusoma ayagala kundaba oba sikyo ye ebyokusoma byesonyiwe.
Omukyala ali atya mentally.
Nga ngamba oba sikyo abeere homeschooled.
Kyekyo.
Bamusomeseze ewaka.
Ngani agamba olwo?
Mutabani wange.
Nga ya suggesting.
Nga ngamba bamusomeseze ewaka. Nga mugamba ebyokusomero byetaaga nnyo. Nangamba kati ebyokusomera mbimanyi kati njagala byawaka naye wona ntabukidde get kati n'omuntu wange njagala mmanye shiddala ali bulungi mentally and all that so I get up and muzeeyi yalugenze I need now to start making plans ez'okumuziika.
So where do you get that money from?
Abantu abewaffe balina my clan balina arrangements zaabwe. Bw'oba owulira nti omuntu afudde mangu nnyo bajja baconvening a meeting nga batuula. And also I think
so did the siblings show up then?
Yes, my elder brother showed up.
The uncles?
No.
Wait. Like even in death?
When my dad passes on Tuesday, because he passes on around 11:47. Yeah, when he passes on, his elder brother, right, comes from the village because from Lira again you go another distance, yes, and then you reach our village. So he gets on a bike, comes to Kampala. Owe Kampala, ida kutte emitwalo 3 n'agaweereza oli. Namugamba gendayo, tuukayo, ositule omulambo, oguleete tumuziike. You get? Yatuuka nga ngenda kunaaba. Ne ngenda ne naaba ne nkoma ne bangamba anko wazze aze kukima mufu amutwale. Ne mbabuuza ebyawa. Ne mbagamba tagenda kuziika muzeeyi wange ng'omufu. I mean ng'embwa. You get? So I thank God for the Royal Army.
Wow.
I thank God for the Royal Army. Royal Army yankolera kisimanyi baava eno ne balinnya baasi beesootinga bo nga bo ne bambuuza just directions kasita ne ze bagamba nali ndi awo ku lunaku olw'okuziika nga bantuuseeko.
That must have been encouraging.
It was.
Wow.
So they raised money and then some other friends also raised money. Emanya abantu bwe babeerawo obuzibu nga bukutuuseeko obuzibu obwaddala.
Awo bawulira ebyobulwadde bayinze.
So nga bagamba sorry nga kitalo bambi nga banteerako. Now the family from my grandmom's side nga they come through as well. We have meetings. Then my elder brother is in some emikwano mirungi. Sometimes we can't dismiss the fact that people are good, friends are good, but our expectations ndowooza tulina ziteeminga mukko kubanga w'obasuubira ennyo ate
tebashowing up. Waliwo olwanirira obulamu buddewo.
Yes.
Sometimes they will be like kasooka kirwanemu.
And then also I get to learn that we are all going through a storm.
Exactly.
In
you
this
don't
life.
know what someone is going through.
We are all going through a storm, and in this storm, other people have yachts, others have boats, others have canoes.
I know.
And then there are those who are drowning.
Yeah.
In the
barely
storm.
holding on a jerrycan.
Yes. So, kasita just okkiriza ekyo.
Because okuba mu kanu naye nga waliwo
ali mu kubbira.
Ate nga gwe omusuubiriramu.
Ate nga gwe tokimanyi because abantu katwayiga
social media eraga birala. Olaba abantu bagenda bangamba recently nti abantu agenda n'atambulako mu nsi ezo n'ataking enough pictures in different clothes. Kati abeera wano nga mulowooza ali Amsterdam. Kumbe
wali.
Ali wano.
Ali
ku kidomola bbira.
Waliwo gwe mmanyi yampaako n'ennamba yeeyo. Mba mpita ayita.
Nongo omuzi gwako. Mugamba bwe nkugamba nti ndi New York. Status yange bwe gamba nti ndi New York. N'onsanga e Kampala, please. Make sure you didn't see me. Mpitaako.
Kati nga mugambe ate namba mbwa kiki omulembe gwe tulimu ogulaba kati obuuza ki nga n'ebifaananyi buli kimu tagendanga nayo nga tagendanga nayo AI ebifaananyi buli kimu biraga eri n'ennamba no ze yafuna oweeri n'amuweereza ennamba koodi oweeri yamuweereza koodi inaloginga email details bulamu ne bugenda mu maaso. So tulina abantu abayita mu bintu tebalaga. I can't know what you're going through.
That's true.
Naye ate bwe nkulaba olabika bulungi you get it all that n'engamba buli kimu kiriko
Nenga nakuwadde ebyange
yes,
tosobola byetika. That's
yes,
true.
So I get to understand this about people. I get to learn this.
But do you know those are lessons that are learned through experiences?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
why I think Tim usually mentions it and says age is not just a number.
No, it's not.
It's the summation of all the experiences that you have gone through.
Yes.
That omuntu tasobola kweteeka mu bigere ebyo n'agamba nti amanyi kiki kye wayitiramu ng'ate teyakiyitiramu. Ate era ne bw'aba ng'ayitira mu the same scenario,
experience ebeera yanjawulo. Yes. Kyekimu ne scriptures. Scripture esobola okuŋŋamba ebirala n'ekugamba ebirala. Bwe tuula n'okuhavinga emboozi, oyogera kikyo n'enjogera ekyange. Kizibu nnyo okwogera kyekimu, yes, kubira kwa njawulo.
Bitugumya mu ngeri za njawulo.
Yes, yes. So I get to understand this, nti ffenna tulina we tuyita. It just takes nze okwevaamu ne ŋŋamba kantuule naawe. Ngenda ate okuwulira ng'ate bye wayitamu.
Ngate bingi nnyo.
Ngate obwange buwero.
Nga nze njagala okusaasira ati.
Ngamba.
I think it also teaches us to be kind as humans.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So people get to show up for me during that moment, and it was a good one. It was a good one. It was a good one.
And even the decision, the muscle to make the right decisions.
Yes.
Because in such moments, when was sort compromising, and I gamble mine, they want the body. Let them take the body. But you stood your ground and said, this is what I want.
No, yangamba kubanga bwe bangamba ekintu ekyo bankubira ne bangamba nti mutwale. Nti mbuuze kwoli gye baatwala oli nzije mugambe. Najja n'angamba. Nenzija ne mugamba n'ambuuza nti gw'oyagala ki? Ne mugamba kankole kino. Enkeera yaalwo yangamba nti Ronnie, make up your mind. Decide once. Tiwabaawo akulimbalimba. Yangamba mu lulimi lwaffe. Yangamba make up your mind once and stand by your decision.
In other words, I've given you the authority.
Yes, the authority.
You're the driver in this. Whatever you decide is what we do.
Yes. Kubanga ne bwe yali ampa his last words and all that. Ngamba you have all the authority. Okola kyonna ky'oyagala. Kuba natuukako ne mugamba nti kati baganda bange mbakoze ntya. Nangamba mbwa kola kintu kyo. Nze nkuwadde authority. Kola kintu kyo. Bo banaalabira ku bikolwa byo. They either join you oba nabo bakole ebyabwe be bamanyi. So it was in those moments that I get to learn that okay, as far as any decision I make right now has consequences.
Yes.
They either positive or negative.
So I should be careful.
So that means if I give in into the pressure that these people are laying on me and all that, the
repercussions
will be on me. Yes, they will be on me. So I get to make up my mind, and then all these decisions that I get to make. I think all the best decisions in my life that I have made, I have made them ngandi mu shower ndi mukunaba.
That's when your mind keeps moving.
That's when my mind is thinking thoroughly. I think things through thoroughly. So it was in those moments that I get to have these thoughts. Nainga otulo mkweba ka otulo. Nakati, I'm just trying to come out right now of the cave. I can't say that I'm fully out of the cave because I still have those thoughts. I have those flashbacks, those moments, the conversations, the memories, because people may disappear from our faces, but the memories stick with us. And then now the sad part is, I'll spend 50 years with you, but the memories that I'll cling more onto, the flashbacks that I'll have more about you, are in the last moments of our conversation. The last moments I have with you.
To make meaning.
Yes. That is when omutagamba kale nayogedde naye eggulo.
I know.
Those words
make a lot of meaning.
Kati nga biri just ebirowoozo
we will
ebyayitawo.
dissect them, we will cut them through.
Yes. Kati the other memories, the fun memories, the exciting memories only come in relation. Oyina kyolowoozezaako, they come in as moments, as glimpses, yes. But the
they
ones
don't
that
hold
stick,
too much.
The ones that cling and hold on to are the last ones. So mbeera or sometimes, and I have those.
But what makes you the happiest about the ending of this story?
the reconciliation. It's my biggest takeoff.
You were glad you were there
Yes.
in that moment.
And I am glad that he gets to go in the presence of his most loved.
Wow.
And he gets,
and in that moment you
gets,
knew that you were the most loved.
Yes.
And yet, previously there was a grudge.
It was different.
You get it,
Yes.
how things
Yes.
twist
Yes.
and turn
Yes.
just in a moment.
And I'm also glad that it's not one-sided, but rather a two-way.
Wow.
That he gets to learn also
Yes.
ensigo gye bali basiga nti tebakwagala, because at some point they get to tell him that me and my mom are conniving
against him.
Yes.
Ngolane yabimugamba.
Family, relatives.
Wow. Those that are not around.
Yes.
They are the ones abatambuza ebigambo.
Abamukubiranga mutabani wa kati muyaga akola bichi abamukubiranga abo, the ones that lead me to being deported.
Yes.
And all that.
Yes.
Are the ones that get to tell him all these things, but then he gets to discover by himself
that
in the last moment nti abali balaga nti bagenda mubeererawo abamuwaganga
tebaliwo.
And then also I get to learn this thing nti my dad ye yaleetanga baganda be okubeera awamu kulwaki yabeesibangako nnyo ng'agezaako okubagatta. Yes, ng'abayita ng'abaleeta. He was the magnet. Yes, ng'akikaka ng'abeesibako kubanga I get to learn these things after.
And now amanyi talina, so he can't do it.
Yes.
So everyone is minding their business.
Nti bwe yali eri bamwagalangako kasente ne kibasembeza kati bw'alwala n'atuuka awo they don't show up.
That's so bad.
They don't show up. So now he gets to learn that we are actually his true loves.
That his children.
Yes, his children, his family.
Until the end.
Yes. Wow. So he gets to learn that, and then he gets to say it by himself. Nti bwe nkulabanga wooli mpulira nga kimpa emirembe, mpulira nga mpeweeramu. So he gets to learn that, and then I also get to learn my lesson of yes. Wow. This is it for me.
Guys, there's I don't know about you, but when I sit across, I think I'm the first student. And I think some of these lessons we have had, people have talked about them, and some of the prayers that we have been making is that God will return the hearts of the fathers to their children. That's a very fervent prayer that you should make. Wabanga, if you are a wife, if you are a father, that God will bring your heart back to your children, and know that these are legacies that you're bringing up. These are seeds that you are sowing. These are seeds that are going to be stuck with them for the rest of their lives. Abamu kumwe mweyogereza kubeebweru ne mbeera abalungi ewaka ne mutabeera abalungi. Na ewaka ne mbeera nga muvuma, ewaka ne mbeera nga muyomba n'ekibiri tikikuyombesa, naye ng'essente z'ofuna ozisaasaanyiza bweru oba buli omu ow'omugaso omulabira bweru, ate nga at the end of your life you are going to be with your family. And I just pray that this sinks in our heads, that we change the direction of our prayers, but again, our actions should speak better than the words that we speak. Tubagala nnyo, from us to you is a bye.